I am a commissioned officer of the United States Army. I was commissioned on 14 May 1971 in the Army of the United States. Having completed 4 years of college education and 4 years of U.S. Army officer candidate training as the prerequisites to attaining that noble honor. I was graduated as a distinguished military graduate. Our huge competition was against the cadets of West Point, the United States Military Academy. We were all commissioned 2 days before them, so that even though they had the prestige of West Point as officers, we had 2 days of seniority over them in rank. I was in college and officer training from 1967 to 1971. This was a time when the lifespan of a newly commissioned U.S. Army infantry officer, second lieutenant, was noted by statistics to be 14 minutes in a combat environment in Vietnam. 14 minutes in Vietnam in a combat action, you were dead, according to statistics. A total of 7 graduates of my high school were killed in Vietnam. The film Patton, 1970, produced by 20th Century Fox, was released during the height of the Vietnam War and during our officer training. The film Patton was huge in the 70s. George C. Scott was our model for a great U.S. Army general officer and commander. He was John Wayne on steroids and $6 Million Man bionics. In 1976, I was assigned to Fort Bliss, Texas. I lived at the Officer Bachelor Officer Quarters with the rank of captain. Our billets were 1 mile away from a good friend of General Patton and fellow general officer. He was a retired 5-star general. His name was Omar Bradley. Yes, I lived a mile from Omar Bradley at Fort Bliss, Texas in 1976. He was living there. He was 83 years old on the day I moved in and a mile from my house, my quarters. We would do the morning physical training run right past his house on base. We would quietly salute him as we passed by. The speech of General Patton in the movie Patton still reverberates in any true Army officer's ears. I first heard it in 1970 in the movie. It is still thrilling to this very day. I have been prohibited from putting that speech in this video from the movie because YouTube has declared it to be a breach of copyright. I have appealed it. They have never responded. There are at least 10 to 12 copies of the so-called copyrighted speech on YouTube, here on YouTube, that you can find. Just search on YouTube as the following: Patton speech, 1944, and you will see there's about 10 or 12 copies right here on YouTube. Thank you.